Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Today we are going to be doing part 2 of the horror Blu-ray update. As I said in the last one, there are like 3 of these videos I think, so there'll be another one after this, just because I had a big stack to show off. And yeah, we're kind of in the middle of it now. And the last one, if you watched it, was a Jarlo special. Play the music. Yeah, and this one is also kind of a special one, because Arrow Video, my favourite of the Blu-ray companies, recently celebrated their 10-year anniversary, and to celebrate they paired up with HMV to do a buy one get one free sale, and I spent a ludicrous amount of money. Yeah, anyone who can guess the exact amount of money will win a Ford Focus. But yeah, I spent an embarrassing amount of money at that sale. So much so that everything in this video was bought in the Arrow sale, kind of an Arrow sale special, and there's also 3 others that will appear in the next video that I also bought in the same sale. So massive thank you to Arrow for that sale. It was thrilling. Yeah, but all jokes aside, I'm really happy with the stuff I managed to pick up. And we're going to start with a box set that I've been wanting pretty much since it was announced, rather. And it is the Last House on the Left box set. Yeah, this was announced, it wasn't that long ago, I think it might have been last year. The Last House on the Left has always been one of those films that everyone knows about. Not many people like, interestingly. Yeah, it's kind of a really gritty, nasty 70s movie that I shouldn't really have to explain if you're watching this. Yeah, cool little movie though, really cool. I watched it with my dad at the weekend, and he remembers watching it when he was young. A bit too young to watch it, and he remembers it being absolute crap. So when I brought this over, he was really kind of dreading watching it. We watched it, and we both really liked it. I had seen it before because I featured it in my Video Nasties Ranked series, which if you haven't seen that, go and watch it. Yeah, interesting movie. It's really quite shoddily made, understandably given the budget. Really shoddily made, but really still quite effective. Caused quite the controversy back in the day. And yeah, Arrow have released this wonderful box set of it. Just goes to show how times have changed. This used to be banned in this country, and now it's got a deluxe box set edition. So yeah, beautiful new artwork there, as you can see. I want to do a proper show off of this box because I'm really proud of it. On the back there, to avoid fainting, keep repeating, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. And with it, we get, first off, this novel. And I call it a novel because it's really long. Yeah, this is a proper, in-depth look at the film, the stories behind it, the actors, the releasing of it, all the different titles and cuts it went through. And this is a fabulous edition. This I will gladly sit and read one night. Really good stuff. Lots of really interesting stuff in here that I didn't know before. And then we also get with it, the Blu-ray itself, which I've switched over to the original artwork, since I think even though I prefer the new artwork, it is on the box, so I thought I'd put that there for a bit of variety. Yeah, Marie 17 is dying, even for her. The worst is yet to come. Yeah, always liked this poster, always kind of stood out to me when I was researching horror films and I hadn't seen it. And as I always show off the back of these, we're going to be here for quite a long time. Yeah, this is a 3-disc set. So on the first disc, you get the unrated cut on Blu-ray and a shit ton of special features. I mean, literally like 3 pages of special features, feature-length documentaries and things. Disc 2, we get the Krug & Company cut and the R-rated cut, so they're different cuts of the movie that were released under different titles. And then the third disc is the CD soundtrack, which, I mean, I don't need because I have it on vinyl, but it's a really nice edition still. Open it up, and we get A Fish Called Wanda. Yeah, then we get disc 1 and then disc 2 and 3 there. I haven't seen any of the other cuts. I have only seen the unrated cut, which is just as fucking horrible as I remember it, in a good way, kind of. But yeah, I was so proud actually to pick this up. I want to give a shout out as well. HMV in Middlesbrough, there's someone there called Wayne. And I was there kind of flicking through the stuff. I picked out maybe like a stack of 6 films, so obviously that's for the price of 3. And I took them to the counter. Obviously he kind of enjoys these films as well, and he went, oh, there's a few back here if you want to have a look. I went, yeah. Pulls out like 2 huge crates of films. I'm like, oh god, my wallet. But yeah, that was one of the few that wasn't on display. This is got straight from the box. It didn't even go out. And yeah, if it wasn't for Wayne, I wouldn't have this. So yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, really, really happy to have this now. And the next one I didn't really need. The next one I already had. Well, in fact, I'll show you. This is my old copy of City of the Living Dead, which I replaced with the shiny new copy of City of the Living Dead. Yeah, this was one of their first releases, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a good release, but compared to a lot of the stuff Arrow does, it's not really up to scratch. You know, like there's some good stuff on there, but it's not all as what's the word I'm looking for? Complete as you might expect from them. So they gladly went back and righted that. So we have some fantastic new artwork there, and that's a bit more like it, isn't it? Yeah, again, absolutely loads of special features on here. Loads of stuff about Fulci, about the actors, interviews, things like that, trailers, commentaries. Open it up, and yeah, in fact, that's a good little thing to start with. This is the whole reason behind the sale. Arrow turned 10. So we get a little history of Arrow video there. That's a couple of their latest releases. A foreword by Kim Newman. Yeah, 2009 this started, so The House by the Cemetery, Macabre, and Dawn of the Dead were a few of the first films they released, going through the years there, all their most popular releases and things. And yeah, they now do soundtracks and stuff on vinyl, as you can see at the top there, so that's more of my fucking money, which they will have gladly. And yeah, we get a little poster card there. And if I open it up, you can see the original artwork there, which I love that poster. I don't know, just the eyes are creepy, the gravestones are creepy, the font is great. But that's better, innit? Yeah, you've got a skull with maggots and a drill going through its head, you've got a priest hanging by his neck until dead, you've got a woman throwing up guts, you've got a graveyard, you've got hell. It's pretty much everything you want from a Fulci movie, all on the cover of a Blu-ray. So yeah, really, really happy to have this one. And I need to put the disc back in before it gets scratched. So yeah, that was a cool little pickup as well. Not necessary, but it's nice to now have the up-to-date version, as opposed to that one. And this one again, I think was quite an early release of theirs, but I just hadn't picked it up. This is Maniac Cop, starring Bruce Campbell and Tom Atkin. Yeah, cool little movie. It's one I'd always known about. It had always been on my dad's DVD rack, but I'd never really given it the time until I just saw it on the shelf and thought, it's in a sale, I'll get it. And it's pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's about a cop who is a maniac, and he's prowling the streets, killing people, and they've got to try and catch him. And that's it, really. It comes from the director of the original Maniac, William Lustig, comes from him. Like I say, there's a few names in here that you will probably know of. In fact, who's the actress I'm thinking of? Laureen Langdon. Yeah, she was in a few other bits and pieces as well. Not as many special features on here. Like I say, it was quite an early release. Whether they're planning to re-release it or not, I don't know. But still, cool little movie to have. Open it up, and the original artwork is in there, which is... I think it is probably better than that artwork, actually. It's more sinister, but I just prefer that font kind of on the spine when it's poking out at me. So, yeah, another little... cool little movie there from the 80s. And we're going on to a video nasty, another video nasty now, and a more obscure one. Again, I only watched this 2 days ago, and it's a weird little movie. It's like, it's a little bit underwhelming, but I can't pinpoint why, because there's some really effective stuff in it. This is Madhouse from 1982. Yeah, really weird addition to the Video Nasties list. It's kind of one of those that would have probably been forgotten about had it not been included on there. But it was, and now we have a shiny 2K Blu-ray release of it. Yeah, strange plot. It's two sisters. One is taken into hospital with an illness, and the other goes to visit, but kind of it brings back a lot of memories of how fucking horrible that sister was. And then she breaks out of breaks out of hospital 5 days before their birthday, and she's planning quite the surprise for Julia. Yeah, it's a strange little movie. It's not particularly nasty. There's a couple of grim bits in it. I mean, especially featuring the dog, which isn't shown on here. The other artwork shows the dog. Yeah, particular bit with the dog that kind of got it on the list, I think. But yeah, it's a it's not a fun movie. It's a good movie, but it could have been better. Do you know what I mean? It's not a great movie. Still good to have though. Madhouse gets a nice double disc release, so you've got the Blu-ray there and the DVD. And God knows, get the disc out there. God knows why I've got the old artwork, because that new one I think is much better. So I will have to switch that back round when I get the chance. Stick that back in there. So yeah, a nice release for a pretty strange movie that not a lot of people know about, but it's interesting nonetheless. So that is Madhouse. Music by Riz Ortolani, and I get the vibe that it was like scrag ends and stuff left over from Cannibal Holocaust, because it's got the same kind of vibe, the music I mean. So yeah, interesting little tidbit there. The Mutilator. Again, that's a poster that I knew about long before I'd seen the movie. It's up on my wall. And I had forewarning from my dad. He watched this and said, Ben, it's fucking terrible. And I watched it anyway, and I really liked it. It's exactly what you think it's going to be. If you go into it thinking, you know, this is going to be a fairly average 80s slasher film, you're probably going to enjoy it. Don't expect Halloween, don't expect Friday the 13th, because it's a low budget 80s horror film, and it comes across that way, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, also known as Fall Break, as the really, really cheesy 80s sounding opening theme would suggest. Yeah, it's a kid accidentally kills his mum as a kid obviously, and his dad isn't happy about it. He's miffed, to use an appropriate word, and he gets in contact a few years later and asks him, when he's a teenager, to go and lock up the beach condo. So he does that with a few of his friends, and guess who's waiting for him? The Mutilator. Yeah, gory as fuck is what I will say about this one. Really, really gory. Definitely has its showpieces. But, you know, it's a fun movie. It's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie, and that's all that matters as far as I'm concerned. We have The Slayer in there. And again, double release, so you've got your Blu-ray and your DVD. And the original artwork is in there. That's Fall Break. And that artwork is awful, so I'm not going to be changing that anytime soon. The Mutilator is a much better title anyway. And I was really shocked as well at the special features on this, because you tend to find that, you know, things like Last House on the Left and City of the Living Dead, relatively well-known movies, they will have a lot of bonus features. With stuff that's more obscure, you tend to find, like, you know, there aren't many people who are willing to talk about the movie who were involved. This, you've got a feature-length, like 80-minute documentary featuring pretty much the whole cast. They go through the birth of the movie, how it was made, it was released, the reactions to it. It's such a fantastic little special edition package you've got here. You've got loads of commentaries. There you go, it's called Fall Breakers, the story of the Mutilator, brand new feature-length documentary featuring endless names. You've got all the music from it, behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, a movie that doesn't really deserve a release like this has got a release like this, and I'm over the moon about it. So that's another cool one there. Oh god, how do I explain this one? This is Pieces, and it's exactly what you think it is. Also, the other tagline to this is, you don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre, which is just brilliant. Yeah, kind of a giallo, but not. It's like a gory slasher disguised as a giallo, mainly because the killer looks like that. It's a school, I believe. Is this Italian or Spanish? I've got a feeling it's Spanish. Yeah, it's there's a killer on campus, and he's collecting pieces of people to make a human jigsaw. And if you're at all familiar with 80s movies, you're probably familiar with the opening scene where the boy is doing the dirty jigsaw and his mum catches him, so he does what any boy would do, and he hacks her to death, which is always fun. And yeah, it would appear he has come back and he's hacking up college kids. It's same as The Mutilator. It's bad. It's a bad film, but it's really fun to watch. It's got really good set pieces in it. The acting is awful. The music is good. Actually, the music is good. It was reused later in Absurd, also known as Rosso Song. Yeah, the music is by a guy called Carlo Maria Cordio, if I'm not mistaken. And again, you've got loads of special features on here. Cool little package. And the original artwork isn't as good, but it does have the old tagline on there, you don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre. So yeah, Pieces is kind of an infamous one. It's one of those where if people think of a movie that's so bad it's good, this is one that comes up quite a lot. And rightly so, because, you know, it's a guilty pleasure. It's not a good movie, but it's a lot of fun to watch. So yeah, and there's clearly a lot of effort behind it. I think the director was clearly a fan of slasher films and things like that, and there's a lot of love gone into this. So yeah, cool movie. Cool movie, unlike the next one, which is another video nasty. My dad always is wanting to watch these films. Me and Dad kind of share a lot of the same taste when it comes to horror. But I showed him what I bought, and this is the one movie he said, yeah, don't bring that over next time you come, because I don't want to watch that. And I can understand where he's coming from. This is Island of Death by Nico Mastorakis. Nico Mastorakis. Yes, I got his name right. Kind of known as the movie that offended everybody. It's got rape, homophobia, racism, bestiality, incest, murder, suicide, golden showers. It's got pretty much everything you'd want in a video nasty, really. It's fantastic. Except it's not, yeah. It's a pretty naff movie. I only got it because, like I say, it was in the sale. It's a video nasty. I'd kind of like to own them all at some stage. And this is one of 72 down. So the lucky ones got their brains blown out. Not really a plot to this movie. There's this brother and sister who are kind of heavily religious, go to this Greek island and start judging everybody, and anyone they consider to be a sinner, who is everybody that isn't them, gets killed and mutilated in rather horrible and nasty ways. And it's it's one of those movies that gets you angry, because the brother and sister, who are these two here, they're horrible people. Like, they are the people that they are preying upon, but they don't see it in themselves. So you kind of really hate these characters. But I mean, you're supposed to hate them, so it's good filmmaking in a way, isn't it? But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's an experience. It's a film to sit down with a lot of alcohol to. Open it up. Again, with this double feature, Blu-ray and DVD. Nice little booklet. Again, it's a film that does not deserve this kind of release, but has one anyway. See if I can find something that shows off the nastiness of this movie. There's a man being forced to drink paint, if that's interesting to anyone. Fellatio on a gun. And I was just going to say then, because I saw it, this was released under a number of other titles. It was known as Devils in Mykonos. It was known as A Craving for Lust. Obviously that's more aimed at the sex market than the horror market. But yeah, it's one of those that got released under loads of different titles and loads of different cuts. And kind of understandably, because it's not a film that the censors would have liked at all. So if there is a movie that deserved to be on the Video Nasties list, it's this one. Not particularly because it's harmful, because it's not. It's just, it's nasty. It has a lot of nasty stuff in it, and it's not a pleasant watch, and it's not a particularly good film. But I've got it and I'm happy. So that's Island of Death. And the next three, the last three, kind of all go together. I'm aware there is a box set featuring these films and a lot of other films by the same director, but I don't know where I was going with that. I know there is a box set, but I haven't got it. So I'll have to pick up the box set at some point. I think if I ever do pick up the box set, I'll sell these on, because the box set is a big completist thing that contains all of these movies. We're going to start off with Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast from 1963. Yeah, the first ever splatter movie. Really badly made, but made for money, just to kind of shock people, and it worked. This is kind of the influence on Saw and films like that. I don't want to use torture porn as a phrase, but that's kind of the genre that this birthed in a way. Although this itself isn't. This is like it's inoffensive, unlike a lot of films similar to it today. So yeah, what a great poster, first off. Blood Feast, that's the original artwork. And it's about an Egyptian caterer who is trying to resurrect... Is he trying to resurrect, or he's trying to do something to this Egyptian goddess? And to do so, he has to sacrifice women. And he does so in a blood feast. And yeah, this is the first in the Blood trilogy by Herschel Gordon Lewis, which kind of hints at what the next two movies are. Cool little package on this. I need to stop saying that because it's Arrow, they always do cool stuff. Blu-ray, DVD, and some much better artwork, really. That's cool. Is it as cool as that? I don't know. I do like the original on that one, so I'll probably keep it. The interesting thing about these discs is that they have 2 films on them. That goes for this and the next 2. So technically, in the next 3 boxes, there are 6 films. And it's because I believe the discs in these boxes are the same discs as are released in the box set. And the discs in the box set are double features. So on here we get Blood Feast, and also a film from Herschel Gordon Lewis called, if I can find it, Scum of the Earth, which I haven't seen, but it's an earlier film. I think it's a girl who gets her nude photos leaked, and it's something to do with her revenge. I don't know, it's something like that. Yeah, cool movie. Was even happier to find that there's like a second movie on here for me to enjoy. Haven't seen it, but can comment on Blood Feast. Pretty much the same as The Mutilator and Island of Death. Really quite badly made, but enjoyable in a strange, I am a weird person way. So that's Blood Feast. And then the second in his Blood trilogy was 2000 Maniacs. This is the original artwork. I do prefer it to the new one. The other movie on here is called Moonshine Mountain, which I'm not entirely sure on what that one is about, to be honest with you. You've got the disc in there. And the other artwork... Oh, I do like that artwork. I don't know, I'll have to think about it. But yeah, on this one, there is this Southern America, well, not Southern America, you know, in North America, the south of that, you know, the kind of Bible-bashing, typical secluded little community, lure in these tourists and hack them to death, to use a nice phrase. And it is inadvisable for children under 16, as it rightly says so. Similar to Blood Feast, you know, it was made for money, it was made on the cheap, literally shoestring budget. Not very well made, but entertaining nonetheless. So that is 2000 Maniacs. I believe this got remade with Robert Englund in it. And I believe there is a special feature on here which has Tim Sullivan, is it? The guy who made the remake, just kind of talking about this, which is interesting. And then the last one is a film I already owned on DVD, thanks to Dark Corner's reviews. But I decided to upgrade to Blu-ray, not getting rid of the DVD, do not worry. I wouldn't get rid of Robin's DNA. But yeah, that's Colour Me Blood Red. And this is about an artist who finds... it's been a while since I've watched it. His paintings aren't getting very good responses until he suddenly uses blood on them, and the shade of blood is just the perfect shade of red, and yeah. Where does he get the blood from? Yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. Yeah, same, quite badly made, but enjoyable nonetheless. Herschel Gordon Lewis is a really interesting man to listen to, because he's so down to earth and honest about his films. You know, he says, you know, they're crap, but we made them for money, and I'm really happy that they're getting releases, and I'm happy that some people enjoy them. So, you know, you don't feel bad laughing at these movies, because you feel like he's doing it as well. He died recently, didn't he? Maybe not recently, past couple of years. But yeah, I'm sure he's still up there giggling away about Blood Feast and 2000 Maniacs and Colour Me Blood Red. So it's nice to see that he was in touch with his audience. And then you've got the original artwork there, which would have been good if it wasn't for that stupid fucking devil in a red cape, kind of ruining it. But yeah, all similar movies really. If you enjoy one of them, you will enjoy them all. And the other movie you get on here is called Something Weird, which apparently has a witch in it, so I imagine it is probably something weird. And that comes to the end of this video, but not to the end of the Arrow sale collection, because there are another 3 films which I bought in that sale, which you will see in the next video, which will be coming next week, hopefully. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of the movies I bought. If you went to the sale, let me know what you got. And I will see you all again very soon, hopefully. Bye for now.